Another heavyweight encounter featuring two winners on the European Tour to round off our afternoon session here on day 3 of the European Darts Open at the Osterman Arena in Leverkusen. Michael Smith, the number 3 seed here this weekend, the 6-3 winner against Darren Johnson yesterday, up against James Wade, the unseeded James Wade, but let's not lose sight of the fact that James Wade has won pretty much everything there is to win apart from the big one itself, the World Championship, and he is still inside the world's top 10. A man who overcame Steve Beaton in round 1 and then very impressively dispatching Jelle Klaasen 6-3 yesterday. Smith the favourite for this one. Paul Nicholson alongside me, Rob Malarkey, for the final match of the afternoon.
I'd go with Michael Smith being the favourite. The difference could be in the scoring. James's scoring has improved lately. His balance on the hockey and his temperament, I feel, have improved too. But the X factor in this game is if Michael Smith scores heavily, he's going to pose a lot of bother for James.
Well, his scoring in the early stages of that win over Darren Johnson yesterday was very impressive indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg, Michael to throw first. Game on!
He quickly established a 4-0 lead, I believe, in that one. And in the end, well, Johnson got 3 legs on the board, but the damage was done early on. Smith averaging almost 100. His finishing was pretty hot at times as well. And if he can sort of bring that back to the table today, I think James Wade might have 1 or 2 problems. But James Wade, being James Wade, he won't be unduly troubled. He's beaten Michael Smith many times before. 11 previous encounters. Wade has won 8 of them. Whether that counts for anything today,
I'm surprised by that. I'm very surprised by that.
I was as well. That's why I sort of thought it might be a bit closer than that, but then I double-checked, and Wade, sure enough, does have a bit of a hold over Michael Smith in terms of previous encounters. A 180 for Wade there to get himself into a position here, but Smith down to a finish first on his throat.
This game has started rather well. If it continues in this vein, we could be in for something that could eclipse the game between Chris Dobey and Joe Cullen, which I feel was the game of the day so far. Double 19 for Smith. Oh, what a beautiful dart. Couldn't see it down the middle, was able to shift to the left, and that is a very, very good 12 dart leg to deny James Wade after he was really hitting the trebles in that leg.
Absolutely. Very confident take from Michael Smith. The the previous encounter, I should say, the most recent encounter was in the UK Open qualifiers last year. Michael Smith kicking off with a turn 80. Michael Smith winning the most recent encounter by 6 legs to 3.
There's been a lot of water under the bridge since then.
Absolutely.
There's been a lot of downs for James, and he's starting to pick himself up. But there's been a lot of ups for Michael Smith. His win in Gibraltar last year was very good. His final in Vienna, where he played exceptionally and was only just pipped at the post by MVG. But Michael Smith seems to be in a very big hurry today. He isn't missing much. He's definitely not missing in this leg.
139.
I'm pretty certain he was going for treble 7 there, but if he was going for treble 19 to leave double 2, then he knows something I don't. What he does know is he's got 42 left after 9, and to back up the 12 dart, it could be an 11. 2 for tops. Tops it is. 10s he gets, and even when Wadey is on 40 after 12, he's had 2 fantastic legs, James, but they haven't been good enough.
Well, Smith starting out, as we suggested he might well have to do here, pretty much in the same vein as he started yesterday against Darren Johnson.
His average right now is more like a phone number.
96.
Mind you, James's average isn't too shabby either. They're both over 120.
Yeah, Wade's average embellished by the fact he's not really had a pop at the double yet. Smith has, and he's taken out his 2 doubles at the first time of asking, or first visit of asking, we should say. Wade here looking to embellish his average even more.
Now, based on the first 2 legs, this is slack from Michael Smith. Only scored 86, as confirmed by the referee. Good opportunity here for a breaker throw for James Wade. May utilise the 18s here. Does. Leaves 167 after 9. In the previous 2 legs, he wouldn't have got another shot. He may have had a shot to leave the double, or one pop at the 167. But here he has a realistic opportunity of actually hitting this. Not anymore. Interesting to see James Wade's face if Michael Smith hits this.
Well, I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest, Paul. I really wouldn't. I would not put it past him in the slightest.
114.
I really thought he was going to hit that. James Wade has hit double 14. And make no mistake, this is a contest of the highest quality.
Living up to all expectations so far, these two. As we suggested in our intro, we said it was, well, I described it as a heavyweight encounter. Two men who've had plenty of success in their careers. Michael Smith has had loads of success on the European Tour. He says it's where he plays his best stuff. He's playing some pretty good stuff in the Premier League this season. Started the campaign very well indeed. He's suffered a couple of defeats of late, but he's still very much in the hunt for a top 4 finish in the Premier League. One or two people just wondering whether he warranted a place, but I, for one, thought he thoroughly deserved a place and another go at the Premier League.
I'm with you there, Rob.
He's totally vindicated the decision so far.
Completely. And for all of the darts fans who are just joining us in the last few years, and you've seen the rise of Michael Smith, and you don't understand just how brilliant James Wade was 10 years ago, I implore you to look back in the archives and find the game between James Wade and Adrian Lewis at Blackpool, the year he won. James Wade won the game, and I'm not spoiling that for you. Watch the quality of the game. Look at some of the things that James Wade did in that game. That's how good he was for a very, very long time. 86 remain. Double 13 for a 146 checkout.
133.
Well, that would have been very, very special indeed.
Top stops. Michael Smith, he fancied that. Fine margins in this game. What's it going to be? 5 for double 4. To go 2-2. And he's drawn level after Michael Smith went out of the blocks.
Well, the thing was, yesterday he had 4 legs in hand on Johnson, and even though Johnson came back, it was too much of a cushion to overturn. This time it was only a cushion of 2, and Wade has absolutely obliterated that, and he's back on terms here, and you have to say he's got the momentum now as well, and Smith has just been stopped in his tracks here. You suspect Smith will come again. He's far too good a player not to.
I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to say this is the best I've seen James Wade throw a dart for a good 6 years, 6-7 years, maybe even before that. There were a lot of things going wrong with that action. It was spiraling downhill. Someone has spoken to him and addressed the issues. That hop that was coming into the throw is gone. He's stable now. The throw is much more in front of the eye as opposed to towards the forehead and drawing it under. And the transformation in the scoring ability between now and maybe 9-10 months ago, it's a different player.
Well, it's good to see as well. He's a class act, is James Wade, there's no doubt about it. And it's good to see him hinting at a return to former glories, and you know, he's not too far away from getting back to the top table once again.
The last time he was omitted from the Premier League, he played really well that season. It's happening again. Doesn't like not being on the road this time of year. Double top.
88.
Fine margins once again, and a couple of misses at double give James Wade possibility of the lead.
Well, he loves double 10, does Wade normally. Renowned for it.
Game show on the 5th leg.
And it's 3 legs on the bounce for Wade.
6th leg, James, the throw first.
And he has the advantage of the break as well.
Dan Dawson.
Snarl here from Michael Smith.
Dan Dawson said to me this morning, we were looking through the draw bracket, and we both said to each other, who do you fancy? And Dan Dawson just looked at the screen and pointed at James Wade's name and said, there's your value. Far too long through his career has he gone under the radar. And he could be skirting under the radar here with this kind of form. He's one of the advocates of wearing the same shirt for a very, very long time. He's had the same shirt for what seems like forever. He has got a bit of a logo on the back these days, which is very un-James Wade-like. And that visit is very un-Michael Smith-like.
Well, that first start was very loose indeed. It was halfway down the single 5-bet towards the bull. Wade not really punishing him at the moment. Smith's got away with that one, you feel?
I just seem to be having a little lull in the proceedings. It was Formula One darts, the first 5 legs. And now we're having a little bit of a bike ride. Very hard to maintain 120 plus averages over a longer format anyway.
Yeah. Well, Wade's down to 170. Might be tempted to go for it if Smith can post something significant here. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was in the treble 20 bed and it bounced out, and so Smith is on 224. So Wade doesn't necessarily have to go for this, but he might well fancy his chances if the first 2 go in. He might want to just get the crowd on side, but we'll never know.
That 60 on the floor cost Michael Smith the shot at this leg. It would have left him 164. All he can do now is fill it up and hope that James Wade doesn't hit 65.
98. James requires 65.
25 will be the target because he likes tops. Very good shot.
Excellent first dart. So confident, so accomplished. Very assured. 2 darts for 65.
4 on the bounce and a silent confidence about James Wade at the minute.
Playing like a deadly assassin here. Look at that. Michael Smith making the perfect start. 2 12-dart legs, but Wade in response a 13, a 14, a 15. Okay, 17 darts in the last leg, but it's more than enough now because Smith has certainly gone off the boil ever so slightly.
Talk about Michael Smith's 4 European Tour titles, of course. James Wade is no stranger to titles. 1 in Hamburg. And in Gibraltar, somewhere where Michael Smith has tasted victory.
Yeah, last year that was against Mensur.
99.
Smith, of course, reflecting on what might have been at the World Championship in December when he had 2 match starts against Rob Cross in the 2nd round.
What a game that was. That set the tournament alight. And after that, everything else is history.
But he started this year really well as Michael Smith. He won a UK Open qualifier in which he beat Michael van Gerwen in the last 8. He reached the final of another in which Michael van Gerwen got his revenge. And Michael Smith said at the start of the year, my aim is to win 4 titles. A very specific number that, I thought, 4. I thought, you know, people might say 5 or maybe, you know, 10, for example, but he went for 4. So to get 1 on the first weekend was the perfect start for him.
Maybe he just likes that number.
I'm curious as to why he set that particular target. It does seem very precise. Anyway, Smith here looking to stop the rot.
That was so high, he moved the outer ring.
And there you see the flailing arm as he makes his way to the back of the stage here. Wade now looking at double 18.
Oh, misses the double 18. Have cost him in his career, notably a 1 in a world semi-final. It was to get to the final, but Michael Smith doesn't miss this time. Was never world number 1, but that was all Phil Taylor's fault. You never know. His best darts could be ahead of him. What a scary prospect. But the way he's playing at the minute, you can see a lot of things going right. And when he can live with the scoring of Michael Smith, that says to me that something's going right. See what I mean?
Oh.
170.
There's Steve Mottershead, his agent, cheering him on. He's had a very positive effect on James's career lately. Double 12 for Smithy could be a vital miss. That was to get level, and now it'll be 11 and double 10.
Well, Wade rewarded here for that brilliant approach with the 170, and he gets the full reward by taking out double 10, his trusted friend. And Wade is one leg away from a place in the quarterfinals and a meeting with Mervyn King this evening from 7:15 in what will be the final quarterfinal on tonight's schedule.
134.
Solid start from Michael Smith, though. Needs to win 3 legs on the spin here. Smith certainly had the chance to get back on terms during that previous leg, but Wade having none of it.
Well, if any player in the world can reel off 3 in a row, aside from someone like Michael van Gerwen, it's probably Michael Smith right now. He's going to need to be leaving the 181s and the 187s after 6 starts to put maximum pressure on Wadey. But the thing that Wadey knows through experience is that he can't really panic in this leg. It's Michael's throw. You'll think, well, you can throw all of this stuff now. Next leg, I'll just plant in a 12, forcing you to hit a 9.
Well, Wade may well have given up on this particular leg, with Smith having posted 134, 180 and a 96 to get down to this 91 combination. Treble 17 leaves tops. Beautifully done. 11 dart leg from Michael Smith. But will it be enough? That's the question.
Needs another one, I feel. Where's the first dart going to be? I've said many times before that James Wade is the best last leg shootout player I've ever seen. Just too many examples of it on the Pro Tour. He's been 5-5 and then he plants in a 12 dart. He just seems to find it from the bottom of his pocket.
60.
I recall looking at some stats once. Terry Jenkins used to have a bit of a habit for doing that as well, but not in the same vein as James Wade, I think you're right in saying.
140.
Good stuff from both players. Here comes Smithy. He wanted a 180 there, he really did. That would have got him level.
Just that rapid fire action. It's great to watch.
You know, this stunning game of darts.
It's a really good match. A brilliant way to round things off. And as you say, the crowd are really wrapped up in this one.
Tell you what is better in James Wade's game in the last few years, though, even though his form hasn't been there, his mathematics and his board management has been much better. He used to make a lot of mistakes. Now he doesn't make these mistakes. Treble 17 would have left his favourite, but now he's going to be coming back for tops to seal it. What a performance.
Very ominous indeed for the rest of the field, and very ominous indeed for Mervyn King tonight. Well, whoever comes through this one, but you have to say it's advantage James Wade here. Smith ready to pounce on 105 just in case Wade fluffs his lines here, but he doesn't fluff his lines. James Wade seals the deal in style, and look what it means as well. The reaction from James Wade tells its own story, and the number 3 seed Michael Smith is out of the European Darts Open. Another seeded casualty in the final match of the afternoon session, and it's Wade who goes through, and on that evidence he is a player to be feared in the evening session from 7:15 tonight. A 6-4 win against Michael Smith. Very eye-catching figures, 6 from 12 on his doubles and an average of 105.59. Smith's average not too shabby either, over 106, but not enough on this occasion. Join us later on tonight, then 7:15 for the quarters. Van Gerwen against Whitlock, North against Moulenkemp, Wright against Cullen, and Mervyn King against this man, James Wade. We'll grab a quick word with James, with our MC Elmar Polka. We'll bid you farewell for now, and we'll see you again at 7:15 on day 3 of the European Darts Open.
That's not normal. You're pushing you. That was brilliant. 106 the average. Oh, that's good. Yeah, both of you. I mean, that was world class, you know?
Yeah, it's about time I come back, and I was quite fortunate Michael missed a few shots. But, you know, I want to play darts again. I'm in Germany. The crowd are great. The country's great. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, Mervyn King is the next one. He has bad problems, back problems, bad back problems.
Yeah.
But you know each other very well. I checked it. You played the 40 times against each other or something like that.
Yeah, he's a great dart player. He's one of the few dart players I started my career watching. And, you know, what will be, and we'll look forward to it.
We're looking forward to that too. Thank you very much. James Wade, freut sich auf das Duell gegen Mervyn King und sagt, das ist einer, den ich zu meiner Anfangszeit noch im Fernsehen verfolgt habe und zugeschaut habe.